So as you all are having this conversation, Rigney comes by and kind of puts a whole bunch of tankards of cap wine down. Says, "Oh, good to see you all again. How are ya? How are ya? Sounds like you're looking for work.
Cap wine!
And yeah, you're right. It's good. Yeah, you're looking for work.
Do you have anything other than cap wine?
What? Well, we've got some moldy. We call it beer.
I'll take the beer.
Wouldn't recommend it.
Sounds bad to me.
I'm
going to go with
wine.
the mushroom wine.
Yeah. It's called beer because it's mostly just dead bees in water.
Oh.
Pass.
Yeah, they've been there for a while. Should probably get rid of it. Anyway.
That's good cap wine.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. It's not good, but it'll do. Are you all forming a little crew, it seems? I saw the letter you handed Liddy over there. Didn't mean to pry, but you know Rigney, that's how I do.
You knew it was an invitation. You knew it was.
Nothing happens here without old Rigney seeing it. Anyway.
Well, we will be a crew if Liddy accepts the invitation.
Well,
I mean,
I may have something that could interest you, perhaps. Think it over. All right?
We are
talk to
not uninterested, Rigney. Why don't you sit down?
I'm trying to...
Well, I'll scooch over.
No. If I sit down, then people know I'm talking to you, not serving you. You know, it's a whole...
Okay.
You've really got to pay attention to how people act in here. Okay, so... just give me a moment. In a couple of minutes, I would like one of you to come up to the bar, and I will explain to you what the job could be. Anyway, I'll see you later. Goodbye.
All right, thanks for the cap wine.
Of course.
Wait, Rigney has a job too? Ooh. Jobs are literally falling on her lap now, guys.
This is a bar full of people.
That's true. She probably wouldn't have given to us if we weren't an awesome crew.
True. Price, can I use a special ability now?
Sure. What do you want to use a special ability for?
Well, my special ability is Ghost Mind, and I'm aware of supernatural entities in my presence, and I want to know if there's any ghosts in this bar.
You don't know if there's any ghosts in the bar. Okay.
Yeah, I do want to know that.
Okay. Well, my goodness, I wouldn't know specifically. So I'm assuming then you want to roll your attune? Would that be an attune roll?
I think.
Yeah, I
or
think
the,
so. Or like
pick,
maybe survey?
Yeah, because but I think, Price, you get to say, like, it has to be resolve, and then the player gets to pick, like, any of the 4 beneath it, basically.
But attune is for dealing with mysticism and ghosts.
But I'm saying, like, I think the GM gets to say it's an insight or a prowess or a resolve roll, and then the player gets to pick any of the 4 beneath it.
Oh, see, I thought it was the player gets to pick entirely what they
it might be that. It might be that. Yeah.
So the way that it kind of works is you say what you want to do and you say how you're going to do it, and in doing so you pick your role, and then I tell you kind of how that's going to how difficult it's going to be and what the consequences are going to be, etc. Because so essentially, like, you're trying to attune in a room full of a bunch of people, you're essentially trying to convene with ghosts. Could backfire. Right?
That's fair. Yeah, I just want to see, maybe these ghosts have jobs. I don't know. Maybe they know something that could help us get a better job.
So you want to see if there's a ghost around.
So what does it look like, though, Anna, when you try to convey with ghosts?
What does it look like? Oh gosh. So essentially, Riven sort of closes their eyes, and then their eyes open, but instead of like their normal green eyes, they're like bright blue and misty almost, so it's almost like glazed over, and then I can see the spirit world or aspects of the spirit world.
Or some kind of, you're piercing the veil essentially. So I mean, I would say if you're gonna roll your attune on that, does that sound about right to you? I think
that's what I would like to.
Reading it in the X just for the people out there, because this is the first time we're playing this. First roll of the game. Attune to spirits in the ghost field, channel electroplasmic energy, perceive and communicate with ghosts, and understand spectrology. So, I would say that that's going to be a, we'll call it risky, And we'll say that the consequences, what do they call that? It's the position and what's the second part? Hold on. It's position.
And the effect level?
And the effect level. So the effect would likely be, well, we'll call it standard. We'll call it standard. So we're the risky roll, standard outcome, likely.
Okay. So, and I have 2 to attune, and then I get 1 extra dice when I roll. So then I would roll with 3.
So where do you get the extra dice from? Is that your ability?
That's my special ability, Ghost Mind.
Okay.
So I get to add 1 dice.
All right. So you've got 3 that you can roll. So go ahead and do that. Rolling 3 d6s.
Okay, I got 1 6, and then you just take the highest one. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I got 1 6 out of that.
Yeah. Okay, so you got a 6, which means you succeed in doing what you try to do. So walk us through what it looks like as you're succeeding at doing this, and I'll kind of we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So I imagine that while they're sort of at a table, like Riven is just sort of like standing behind the table and like listening in. Like Riven thinks they're too cool for school, basically, and has sort of been like hanging out in the background and sort of just adding comments as needed. But Riven's gotten pretty bored with the current conversation because nothing's actually happening, and they want some action. So they go into their spirit mode, like I said, they sort of like take a step back, sort of loosen their posture a little bit to get nice and comfortable, close their eyes, and sort of take like a good 10-second pause in like meditation, and then jolt back open their eyes and start like surveying the room and seeing if there's anything, essentially.
Okay. So yeah, as you're looking around, you definitely see the kind of the essence that is moving through the lights and everything else. You can clearly see the ley lines in the field. You don't see any ghosts that you would feel comfortable speaking to. You are not yourself traumatized or afraid, but there are an echo or two that you can see that are very violent. Clearly, this place was not always peaceful, so you kind of see essentially an echo of a bar brawl off in the back. So just a very violent fight between 2 ghosts. Essentially, it's like, one gets knocked through a window and the ghost jumps through the window after them, and then they come back through the other side, and it's just a loop that just keeps on happening. Okay. And that's it. No other spirits that you can see just with that first glance. Now, there's a lot more noise here. This is not your normal environment here. And generally, places where a lot of people congregate like this, ghosts have already been dealt with.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I think it was also like Riven just wanted to check the protection of the area too, and make sure there was no like really bad entities that might benefit from us talking about certain things. So Riven is content with what they have seen, and they once again close their eyes and return back to normal self. Okay.
Yeah. No ghosts to communicate with.
Okay.
All right.
I slam back my cap wine, and I stand up from the table and be like, I'm going to go talk to Rigney.
Okay.
Good luck.
Have fun.
And
so you head on.
Probably shouldn't say that out loud.
What? Good luck? People say good luck all the time.
What, Rigney? I'm just going to order something special.
Okay.
And I saunter up to the counter, and I flag down Rigney. I'm like, hey, I'm curious what else you got on the menu.
You're asking about the job then, are you?
Yes, that's what I'm asking about, yes.
Oh, right. Okay. Cool. Great. Come around the corner here. Come around. And she kind of like walks you over towards the kitchen. There's staff kind of coming in and out. It's a pretty bustling type place. And actually the kitchen is just over like on another boat, right? Because it's multiple boats kind of stuck together. It's like a little bridge, a little water below you, another boat, that's the kitchen. So you kind of come around the corner, a little bit out of the way of the prying eyes and the voices and whatnot in the dusk. Dusk is what people colloquially refer to as the places you can't be seen. Shadows, anywhere you're not really being paid attention to in the dusk. So, Rigney essentially relays to you, all right, well, you know about the different gangs that run this region here. Obviously, Crowsfoot, right? We got the crows up in that nest there. Rorik's gone. Things are a little bit tricky. And seems that the sashes and the lamps are looking to kind of take a little more control over the region. Little context, because everybody would know who these different gangs are, but exposition for the world out there. The lamps, or the lamp blacks as they are called, are essentially the former lamplighter guild that used to go around before the electroplasmic energy was found. And so they used to go down the streets and light all the lamps. Obviously, their services were no longer needed, and they kind of banded together and became the main guild that controls the underbelly of like the drugs. They run several brothels in the area, lots of smuggling. They do a lot of your low-level organized crime type stuff in like the scummier parts of town. So that's what they're known for. It's well known that that's what they do. They have a reputation for being pretty nasty, and they're in a long-running feud, a blood feud, deaths on both sides, with the Red Sashes. The Red Sashes operate out of an old training facility for essentially wealthy kids of the upper class. That used to be where you would go and learn swordsmanship and other types of combat. The patrons of this place still remain to be the children of these upper echelons of society, but the upper echelon no longer is the same as it used to be. And so they're sort of wallowing, trying to figure out what to do in this region where nobody needs to do these fancy sword fightings and whatnot. No one's going out to fight in glorious wars. Everything's dirty and gross in here in town. So they've also taken to crime, but they sort of run the kind of higher crime. They have drug dens that are very fancy places for you to go to, the highest quality brothels. They have a sort of a desire for quality that the other gangs may not have. And they also are known for being pretty ruthless warriors as well. Because of their training that they do still maintain, they're difficult to take out in a fight, so they're a pretty deadly group. That said, they still maintain their connections to the nobles and everyone else, and so a lot of people don't really trust them, kind of keep them at a little bit of a distance. Whereas the lamps, a lot of people see them as kind of fighting for the people and whatnot, because they're kind of the same class as pretty much everybody who's in the region. So, the Sashes and the Lamps, blood feud for decades, has been held together by the Crows just because the Crows is a bigger gang. Now that the Crows are kind of fighting over their own stuff, sounds like there's some rumblings between these two. Okay. Exposition gone, back into the world. Looks like maybe the Lamps and the Sashes are about to, make the streets red again, if you know what I mean.
Oh, no.
Obviously, that's a little bit of a scary thing. I have reason to believe that the Lamps are going to try and sabotage the Sashes, try and do something to connect them to Rorik's death. Anyway, I have several contacts who have asked me to try and get information on this, and I need to find people I can trust who are not currently connected to everything that's going on. Seeing as you're a little up-and-coming crew that I don't think I've seen any of y'all have any kind of affiliations with these groups, you might be the perfect thing for me to turn to. So, if you can get in, if you can find information that points to these Lamps trying to take out the Sashes or do something to the Sashes, then I can certainly get you some coin. And now, another bit of exposition. The word coin refers to large sums of money. Like, coin is only reserved for these specific big coins that have a lot of value. You're never gonna, I think literally the book says you can't hold more than 12 on you at a time. Literally it wouldn't be possible for you to. If you held more than 4, someone is going to find you and murder you for that coin. You don't want to hold this stuff. So when someone says, I'm gonna give you coin, that's code for big money.
Okay. So I guess backstory-wise, would I know that Rigney has some sort of like affiliation with the Red Sashes? That Rigney, she wants to protect the Red Sashes in some way?
No, you would likely assume that Rigney, Amencio, anybody who works here in Tangletown is unaffiliated. Rather, their goal is maintain the status quo, maintain the peace, because it's been a lot worse here before. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well then, Rigney, I guess what leads you to believe that the lamps are trying to plot something to put this frame job on the Red Sashes?
All right. So, you know that there police officer, the old blue coat, LaRose?
Yeah.
It's out front. He's been really, really working this job trying to get people to go and replace a missing artifact for the Sashes. They're not missing no artifact. I've got contacts with everyone and they don't know what they're talking about. Allegedly, there's some sword missing or something. I don't know, but it certainly doesn't belong to the Sashes. And seeing as Rorik's gone missing, I could see planting some kind of blade somewhere being a real good move for some people. All I want to say is we shouldn't have any sashes and lamps messing around with each other's stuff. Can't be good business, especially right now with all the attention on Lissa and the takeover of the crows.
Gotcha. All right. So,
I'd just say, just for your own benefit, right? Be wary of that LaRose. He could be up to a little bit something trickier than you might say if you come across him.
Okay. I'm going to talk to my crew. We're a real crew. And then if I find anything, I'll let you know. Thank you for this opportunity, Rigney.
Aye, and keep it quiet, right, like I said.
Absolutely.
Anybody who's affiliated might be difficult.
All right. So I wander back to the table.
To the table. Yep.
And
we don't get a saunter?
I mean, maybe
not a saunter back to us?
I'll catch myself and then I'll saunter. Yeah. I'll realize I'm not sauntering.
you were like too focused on what was going on. Like, oh, I'm not sauntering. They're gonna notice.
Exactly. Like I've still got the word coin in my mind. Anyway, so I get back to the table and I bring everyone in. And I was like, okay. So, y'all, I think we have the opportunity tonight to not just do one job, but to do 3 jobs.
3 jobs.
Wait,
Are you
Rigney just offer you 2 jobs?
No, but Amencio wants you to find out who the killer is of Rorik, right?
Well, wants us to find out.
And Rigney thinks that the lamps are trying to frame the sashes for the death of Rorik. And apparently LaRose out front is offering a job to plant something on the sashes that might implicate them for the death of Rorik.
Well, look. But Amencio wants us to actually find out who killed Rorik. And if we set up the red sashes, then we won't actually be fulfilling Amencio's job to find out who killed Rorik.
I'm not saying that we actually do LaRose's job, but I'm saying there is the possibility to still earn some money in the process.
So we take all jobs, and if we succeed at one, it's a win, and if we fail at the others, it's no loss to us?
Look, I hate the red sashes, so I'd be more than willing to frame them for something, okay? Those guys are jerks.
I mean, they're not so bad. They dress nice.
Yeah, and they sell drugs to
I don't
people.
think you've told
and then
us
they
of your
dress it up.
connection.
They're like, look, it's fancy drugs, like it's better or something.
No, yeah.
Do you have a comment on the quality of drugs?
I am not going to disclose who I sell drugs to.
So I think there's an interesting opportunity here, y'all.
So am I hearing that we are going to take Amencio's job? Is that what I'm hearing?
I
think we're going to take all 3 of them.
We take Amencio's job. We take Rigney's job. And then we talk to LaRose and ask LaRose what he wants done for the lamps, or to see what his job is that pertains to the red sashes, because I think
the sound of this.
There's an opportunity to do all three, and even if we don't accomplish all three, I think there's a way to possibly get paid for all three.
By the way, Amencio wanted me to discuss the terms of the job. What do you think the terms should be? Like,
did you not get the terms?
Yeah, shouldn't they provide the terms of what is?
But I want to be able to counter with our terms.
Tell him as long as there's
tell
him as long as there's coin involved, we're in.
How many coins? At least a coin? One coin.
Probably more than that if we're finding the killer.
There's 4 of us.
Among everybody.
4 coin.
Yeah.
1 coin each, 4. Okay, there we go. Now we're talking. All right.
Hold on, let me.
I'm gonna
find some info on coin. Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to Amencio as you're looking for coin.
Okay.
And like I'm all confident, I'm gonna go deal with him.
Okay.
And I sit down. Amencio, we are interested in the job.
Okay.
We will do it for no less than 1 coin each. That's 4 coin, friend.
I don't know if that's a significant amount of money or not.
That we will find the killer. Well, you just said like one person carrying around 4 coin is enough to get their throats slit.
It certainly is. Okay, here we go. Okay. 1 coin is a full purse of silver pieces, a week's wages. 2 coin is worth a fine weapon, a weekly income for a small business, a fine piece of art, a set of luxury clothes. 4 coins is the equivalent of a month's wages. So you're basically asking for a week's wages for everybody. Yeah. Sounds fair. Sounds fair. So yeah, Amencio is kind of like, oh, I certainly think that something like that could be arranged, and depending on what you find, finder's fees, etc., you'll be taken care of. 4 coin.
Do you have any leads for us to go on?
Well, certainly. I think that the scene of the crime would probably be the first place to go. Well, I guess the scene of the death. I'm assuming it's a crime. I imagine people with your skills could make your way in, maybe to Rorik's bedroom. Might be tricky, but that's where he went.
I already know this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Mm-hmm. How do people think Rorik died?
Oh, well, if you ask the crows, they'll say he died peacefully in his sleep. Everyone else knows he was stabbed in the back.
Peacefully?
Peacefully stabbed in the back, yes. He fell asleep on a knife 9 times.
It's a half-truth.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Amencio. Is there a time limit on this job? Do we need to get back to you within a certain date?
I mean, if you don't take the job tonight, someone else will take the job.
No. I'm taking the job, but do I need to have the information like in a week's time? Is there a time limit on this thing?
I believe sooner would be better.
Sure, but I mean, like, are we gonna run out of time if we don't have it to you in like
by the end of the week?
5 days? Okay.
By the end of the week.
I feel better when there's a schedule put to things, and I know what I'm working with.
We are the worst crew.
A week's worth of a week's worth of pages, and you're like, okay, I could do this in 3 days, or I don't know, maybe I could work the entire week and then stop working after that week because I don't get paid after that.
No, a week's. A coin would be generally a week's wages, but it's not like he paid us for a week's work.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's until the job's done. But yes, in terms
I don't think that was a unfair question.
It wasn't an unreasonable question.
It's just as gangsters, basically, it's an odd question, basically.
Yeah.
I just want to get into a situation where we're going to have people coming to kill us because the job's not done.
It's fair. I mean, that's honestly fair. And I think if you dilly-dallied, you'd probably get a message or two or something worse. So... Totally fair question. Okay, so you're taking the job from Amencio? What are you doing?
Taking the job from Amencio, 4 coin, we will deliver. All right? You'd never seen a crew complete a job so efficiently.
I doubt that.
No.
I highly doubt that. You do know I'm old, right? Like I've been around for a long time.
Still good looking. You still got it, Amencio.
You're a charmer. You're a charmer talker. All right, now get out of my sight.
All right. I bring the information back to the crew. I was saying, guess what, guys? 1 coin for each of us.
Maybe keep that a little quiet too.
Yeah, that's another thing. You gotta be careful talking about coin. Yeah.
Did I say coin?
Yeah.
I said poin.
That's even better.
1
I love
point
a
for
good
each
poin.
of us.
I love
which is
poin.
slang for hugs. And I proceed to give each of you a hug. Wink.
Thank you.
That's our little crew lingo. We call hugs points.
Oh, have you come up with?
I didn't even know we had
the Huggy
we had a
Bears
secret
or something?
language.
What's the name of the crew?
TBD.
Is our
TBD.
crew name the Huggy Bears?
TBD.
TBD.
No.
TBD. The Huggy
But-
Bears. In parentheses, the
Whisper.
Huggy Bears.
He says, obviously, the best place to start our searching would be in the bedroom of Rorik. It's where he died. It was where he was peacefully stabbed 9 times. So we'll go look for clues there, and then hopefully we'll find out some more information and end up pinning the whole thing on the red sash.
Well, maybe we should take the other jobs too.
Definitely. Well, did we take Rigny's?
I whistle at Rickney. Mm-hmm. I give just a thumbs up.
She does like a.
And then I'd say, okay, now let's go talk to LaRose. Do people? What do y'all think about talking to LaRose and seeing?
Well, I think you should do it. Aren't you the ex?
Yeah, I know
Blue coat?
LaRose from my background, and I know that LaRose has been like a pretty shady cop in the background. So
Maybe you should.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So I haven't necessarily wanted to interact with LaRose, but I have in the past. All right. So then.
Okay.
All right. I'll go speak with LaRose and see.
Maybe you should bring him a drink.
Ooh. Okay.
Bring him one of
Cap
those
wine.
new beers.
That doesn't sound appetizing.
You know what? I'll bring him an eel pie. So
Safe bet.
I grab an eel pie from the bar and I go outside to the front door where LaRose I think was hanging out.
Yep.
And I say,
And as you come over, you can see him kind of harassing a couple of youths, basically like tell him to get on. Oi!
still.
Oh, hi, how's it going? Oh, what you got there?
Still up to the same old tricks, eh, LaRose?
Ah, you know how it is, Wester. Oh, thanks. That's good. That's good. So, well, what brings you over here to Lakey Bucket?
Well, it's been a while since we talked. I stopped doing the City Watch job. I fell out of love with it, and I've been doing some extra work on the side with me and a few friends, and, well, someone in the bar told me that you might be looking for work as well.
Well, I mean, I've got maybe some work if that's something that you're looking for, if that's what you mean, I am. I like to keep in contact with everybody. I like to use my power here to kind of make sure that everything works nice and smoothly, if you know what I mean.
Well, I'm not uninterested as long as the price is right.
No, of course. I mean, I'm a businessman. What can I say? Everything that gets done around here, you got to make sure you pay for it. Otherwise, you're going to pay for it. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. So,
All right, well,
what is it that you have in mind?
a little bit of a flutter going around, right? Obviously, Lissa in charge now of the crows. Things are a little shady. We nabbed a kid who seemed to be trying to abscond with a little bit of something earlier from the red sashes.
Oh.
Basically, very important dagger to Marilla Kell. Let me see. Malira Clev, that's her name.
Is that the leader of the Red Sashes or something?
Yep. So, Malira Clev, she's been out of town for a week, right? She's going to be back in a couple of days. Well, if she finds out that this dagger's missing, she's going to, of course, blame it on the lamps. They've just been looking for reasons to fight each other for years. You know how it is. One little thing missing, blame it on the other side, boom, taking them out. Anyway, someone perhaps unaffiliated who could maybe get back inside, could leave the dagger where it belongs, and then we don't have to worry about any of that happening. I just want to keep everything nice and quiet.
You're just trying to keep the peace.
Well, yeah, with Rorik gone, I mean, someone's got to do it, right?
All right.
I mean, Lissa is tough and not fair, but got to do what we can right now. It's troubling times, So, anyway, if you know somebody who could perhaps weasel their way into the Red Sash's HQ and maybe drop this dagger off back in her room where it belongs, then perhaps nothing will happen. And of course, you'll get a nice shiny payday.
Obviously. Oh, that sounds great. So, all right.
If you take the job, I'll get you the dagger. I'll tell you where to pick it up.
It needs to go specifically into Malira's room?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There is, well, we'll give you more information if you decide you want to join up. You know how it is. Okay. Anyway, go talk it over with your friends, you know, do your thing, and then get back to me.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
And, you know, good to see you're no longer a stiff. You're kind of on the right side of things now, so good to see you. Yeah.
Thanks, LaRose. Thanks.
Yeah.
Enjoy that pie. All right, so I go back inside.
Oh, I will. As soon as you turn around, he's just like smashing his face into it.
Gross.
Yep. All right. So you go back, you relay the information to the crew?
I relay the job information with my added, so this job seems super suspicious, right? Like,
Yeah,
I mean it's LaRose.
I can tell you right now, I know for a fact that Rorik was stabbed 9 times in the back.
Is it a fact? You just heard that.
It is no, everybody knows that he was stabbed 9 times in the back.
Citing your source? Everybody.
Citing the barterer of information, Amencio. And by the way, I do have a ability like looking into a mirror, which I can always tell when someone is lying.
All right.
So I know for a fact Amencio was telling the truth.
What is that? Is that an ability that you need to roll for?
No, because I can always tell. It is an ability I don't need to roll. I just always can tell that someone is
What does it say under the description for? I mean,
it literally says you can always tell when someone is lying to you.
All right, give me a second. I just want to read that. He wasn't lying to you, anyways. As far as he knows.
So that's your one special ability.
Yep.
Okay.
Gotcha.
That's a good special ability.
Yo.
I was curious about that because some of the special abilities, obviously, they just sort of like help you roll better, but then some of them it seems like they're just like they just work.
It's a part of you. Yeah. Okay. So your special ability, what's it called?
Like looking into a mirror.
Okay, you can always tell when someone is lying to you. Okay, so so you took that special ability specifically. That's not like a slide thing. Like
yes.
No.
That is the one special ability that I took.
Okay. It works in all situations without restriction. It is very powerful, but also a bit of a curse. You see through every lie, even the kind ones. Sad. You live a sad life. Okay, so yeah. But yeah, you talked to Amencio. I mean, he was telling you the truth. Like,
So, we know that Rorik was stabbed.
Now remember this. Amencio tells you the truth as far as he knows it. Right?
Yes.
It's not like a magical ability. It's just you can tell when someone's lying or not.
But I would rely on him. Yeah, I know that he is the info broker, so if he doesn't have good info, then he's not good at his job. Seeing as he was stabbed, and seeing as the lamps want to frame the red sashes, and knowing that Rigney said that the red sashes insist that they have no artifacts missing, it seems suspicious that LaRose would want us to plant a knife at the red sashes. I think LaRose has the murder weapon.
Yeah. Or, to be fair, LaRose didn't have the murder weapon on him, but he told us that we're going to pick it up somewhere, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so if anybody knows who killed Rorik, I think that a good place to start might be LaRose, because it sounds like he knows who has the murder weapon.
Or you could ask the murder
whoever
weapon.
we're picking up this murder weapon from.
Or yes.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that avenue of questioning, the LaRose avenue, might be the best place for us to start.
I'm not sure I would necessarily want to start there, but that's definitely where I think we should go if we are being dead-ended.
So, speaking of which, we're at about 8 o'clock, so I do think it'd probably be a good time to put like maybe a break in, and this is a good spot for it, because to summarize, you guys essentially have 3 options for where you could go next in terms of the story. Because the way that the stories kind of unfold in this is like, we just jump forward and you guys can backfill in stuff with the flashbacks. If there's like, oh, we prepared by doing this or finding out that information or whatever. Okay. So I think let's go ahead. Maybe can we take a break and like
take
a
a
little
break.
quick stop in here, and then just consider where would you like to go first or next or whatever you want to call it, either to the Red Sashes HQ, to the Lampblack's HQ, or to the Crow's Nest to investigate Rorik's bedroom.
Right.
Those are like the three places where the things can happen.